Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital. Portia baby secret explodes. Isaiah left absolutely stunned. General Hospital shows Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, is in a panic and she collapsed in Dr. Isaiah Gannon's, Andy Wilson, arms and now everything is falling apart in her life. We're going to talk about Portia's baby secret blowing up with Isaiah finding out in the worst way that he might be a daddy in a few months. General Hospital. Portia forced to come clean to Curtis. So, Portia was ready to tell Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, she's been seeing Isaiah. That's because Portia knows she'll probably have to give her alibi to the PCPD and her alibi is Isaiah. And we also know Portia didn't shoot Drew Kane Quartermain, Cameron Matheson. So, Portia wanted to get out in front of it and tell Curtis before he heard it from the police, a lawyer, the gossip grapevine, or more specifically from Jordan Ashford, Tanisha Harper, who's always butting in. But when Portia went to see Curtis in his office at Aurora Media, that's when Nathan West, Ryan Pavey, showed up and arrested Curtis. She had no idea and couldn't get any answers on what was happening. So, Portia thinks Curtis was arrested for Drew's shooting. But it was for making a false statement and lying about being alone before meeting Jordan at the bar. Now, that doesn't mean the charges won't be upgraded to attempted murder. But for right now, it's just this limited charge. Portia's medical crisis exposes shocking pregnancy secret on GH. Portia panicked and she ran back to her office at General Hospital and Isaiah was there. Portia was freaking out. And he asked if she told Curtis about them, thinking that's what had her upset. But Portia was in a full spiral, said she never got the chance because Curtis was arrested. And then Isaiah asked if they arrested Curtis for shooting Drew. Portia assumed so. But she doesn't know. So, then she goes into the shame and blame spiral saying it's her fault that Drew was blackmailing her and then Curtis got dragged into it. And of course, Isaiah wants to know, okay, what does Drew have on you that he's blackmailing you? And Portia started to tell Isaiah. But then everything got so much worse. Portia started cramping and she doubled over in pain and Isaiah was shocked and concerned. He's going to get Portia some help. Get her into an exam room. And then Britt Westbourne, Kelly Thibault, who isn't licensed to practice right now, is going to rush in and be there to tell Portia that she's there with her. Everything's going to be okay. Obviously, Isaiah knows that Britt was an OBGYN. Technically, she's not allowed to practice just yet. But Portia needs help and maybe her regular OBGYN, Dr. Navarro, Christina Ferraro, is in the delivery room or just not there, or in surgery, something. But this should be when and how Isaiah finds out Portia is pregnant. I don't see how this could happen and he doesn't find out. Isaiah discovers he might be the father on General Hospital. So now, on top of her being worried about Curtis's arrest and who's the father of her baby, Portia also has to worry about Isaiah's reaction to this baby bombshell and also worried about the health of her unborn child. So far, Isaiah has no idea Portia was even pregnant. And once Isaiah finds out how far along Portia is, he's a doctor. Isaiah can do the math and realize he may be the father of her baby. Portia's going to have to explain why she didn't tell Isaiah she's pregnant. Good news is he's a pretty chill guy. He tends to roll with the punches. So he'll understand why Portia was keeping the secret. And I'm sure she'll explain to Isaiah that she didn't plan for Curtis to find out. But Jordan told Curtis without even knowing if it was true or not and if she was pregnant or not. Jordan saw Portia, if you remember, skipping booze and refusing an hors d'oeuvre at the Quartermain party, and then she just went and told Curtis that his estranged wife is pregnant. Jordan's a stage 5 meddler and Portia is still mad about it. Curtis remains oblivious amidst paternity drama. So, she's going to tell Isaiah. And I don't think he'll be upset with Portia at all. And this will probably reinforce Isaiah's dislike of Jordan. Unfortunately, Curtis assumes he's the dad with no reason to think differently. And he's busy building a nursery in his house for this baby. And it may be a nursery he doesn't need. He has no idea there's another man in the mix. And Isaiah seems really into Portia. And he's ready to face the heat for dating his chief of staff. I think when this all comes out, he'll probably say that he'd like to be the dad. I'm curious to see if Isaiah assumes he's the dad also because he may not be clear on the last time she slept with Curtis. He may think Portia was holding off telling him until she was out of the first trimester. So, if that's his assumption, that's going to be another awkward conversation for Isaiah and Portia. The inevitable DNA test and potential fallout on General Hospital. I'm certain that Isaiah is going to be happy to hand Portia a sample of his DNA for the paternity test so she doesn't have to test Curtis. Isaiah is going to want to know if he's the father of Portia's baby as much as she wants to know. And I'm interested to know if she's hoping that it's Isaiah's versus Curtis, because if it is Isaiah's, that would give her closure on her marriage. So after Britt examines Portia, I can see Isaiah telling Portia, "Let's get this test done as soon as possible. And then you can move forward with the information you need." So already she's got to tell Curtis she's seeing Isaiah because of the alibi thing. But if they rush the DNA test, Portia could rip off the Band-Aid and tell Curtis that Isaiah is the father of her baby at the same time if that is what the test results show. General Hospital. Curtis crushed by paternity shocker. If it turns out Portia got pregnant by Isaiah, obviously Curtis is going to be furious. She got pregnant with another man while they were still married. But Portia would probably remind him that their marriage was over because of Jordan and other factors before she ever got with Isaiah. And of course, Curtis doesn't have much room to talk since he was getting close to Jordan and was low-key having an emotional affair while he was still with Portia. And while Curtis hasn't slept with Jordan yet, that's semantics. We know it's going to happen. How will the baby bombshell affect Curtis and Trina on GH? Bottom line, Curtis is going to be devastated if he's not the father of Portia's baby. Curtis is already so excited. Especially because he peeped that ultrasound photo of the baby. Remember, Portia was trying to hide it. She had slid it up under her little notebook on her desk. She was looking at it. But she didn't want him to see it. She was trying not to get him invested in this because she doesn't know whose kid it is. And then Curtis asked if he could keep it and then he went and he showed it to his Aunt Stella Henry, Vernee Watson, who is so excited and she's pushing for them to stay married. This is going to be a big heartache for Curtis if he is not the father of her child. And I'm guessing from there he will lash out at Portia. Plus Trina Robinson, Tabiana Ali, just found out her mom's pregnant and obviously assumes that her dad Curtis got her mom Portia pregnant. So, Trina's got some shockers coming too. General Hospital. Will Portia's baby survive?